Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Cooking with Clams. I'm Will. Today I'm riding around the neighborhood and I'm actually going foraging in a way. Something I'm looking for today is cactus. And what I want is prickly pear cactus, and you can find it by its fruit, which is either the kind of reddish purplish pear looking fruit or the yellow flowers. And I have a slight memory of one being in a neighborhood, so we're taking a bike ride over there. And then what I'm gonna do is head over, I know where there is an allspice tree, and we're gonna grab some leaves off of the allspice tree and some banana leaves. And then we're gonna go hopefully catch some fish. So we'll wrap the fish in the banana leaves and the allspice leaves, steam it, and then the cactus, we're gonna make a cactus salsa or pico de gallo. So right now, I'm on the fish assault vehicle. We're riding around the neighborhoods on the hunt for cactus. All right, are you ready for this glorious sight? So this is a giant prickly pear cactus. So a lot of people are used to eating the fruit, which is absolutely edible. And that's what they're familiar with. But what we're taking today is going to be the actual leaves. And then you cut these off, boil them, and then we're gonna chop them up and make like a pico de gallo salsa to go on top of our fish. Not bad for an old memory, huh? I knew I had seen this plant before. I knew it. And this morning I woke up and I had this envision of cactus salsa, and all of a sudden I remembered I've seen a prickly pear cactus, because you don't want to use just any cactus, you want to use something that's good. And I just knew on my walks home that I had seen it before. This is one of the magical things about Key West, is that there is a lot of things around that you could forage for. Now, being up north, of course, you forage for something like ramps, cardoons, mushrooms. Down here, we don't really have that, but we have other things like banana leaves, bananas. We have a lot of tropical fruit and a lot of edible things that people have on their lawns and property that they don't even know that they could eat. And this being one of them, it's a beautiful, beautiful plant and also very delicious. So we're gonna cut off a couple of pieces, hopefully they won't miss them. And then we're gonna go get our banana leaf and our allspice leaves. And then we gotta catch some fish. That's gonna be the hard part. I thought this was gonna be the hard part, but I think the fish is gonna prove to be difficult today. They've been kind of scarce lately. I'm going for the smaller leaves thinking they'll be a little more tender. At least that's what I'm hoping. And I've already stuck myself. Now, I think we have enough, and before anyone reports me for having a knife out on the street in Key West, we're gonna go get the other things. We got our cactus, that's gonna be our salsa. Now we're on our way. I know there's an allspice tree. Allspice is a lot like a cross between cinnamon, nutmeg, pretty much all spices. It's really prevalent in Jamaican cooking, or Caribbean cooking for that matter. It has a more subtle flavor than, say, cinnamon. It's a little bit more forgiving, but it's a nice spice that when you add it, it's not overpowering, especially with fish, especially if you use the leaves and not the berry, and put it in the water if you're boiling something or steaming it like we're going to do. It's similar to Hawaiian culture, steaming things with tea leaves. It's, like I said, very, very subtle, and you wouldn't taste something and go, oh my God, what's that taste? It's a little hint of something that really adds to the flavor, adds another depth, an earthy depth, which is what we're going for on this dish with the cactus, with the steaming of the fish with the allspice, and then just a little bit of brightness with a little bit of lime in our salsa. But really I want to make more of an earthy dish. Looks kind of like any other tree. You wouldn't think too much about it, but it's amazing. It smells, it's like clove, cinnamon, nutmeg. I mean, I know I'm being silly, but that's why they call it allspice. It smells like all of that mixed together. So now we are gonna take these leaves, wrap them around our fish, then wrap the banana leaf around the fish to completely hold it all together, and then steam it. And this will give such a subtle taste. But wow, I wish you could smell this. This is like almost a gingery smell. It really is amazing. So next on our list is our banana leaf. Now when I first moved down here, I was on the hunt to find a banana leaf, to buy a banana leaf to steam some fish in. And I couldn't find anywhere that sold banana leaves. And I was thinking, I'm on an island in the middle of the Caribbean, well, close to the Caribbean, and nobody sells banana leaves. Well, I realized why. Because banana trees are everywhere on this island. Here's one. There's a few back there. So we're gonna go to one up here where I don't have to go on anyone's property to grab the leaf. I think it even has a couple of bananas up there. And the other thing is not just the leaves, but the actual flowers. And I'll show you that in a second. It's pretty neat. Now leaves get pretty shredded from the wind, which you can see. So we're gonna take a couple of those so that we can make a nice pouch to put our fish in, because they don't look so good. We've had a couple of windy days and rainy days, so they've gotten pretty shredded. But so we'll cut the spine out and then take this sheet right here and wrap our fish in that, and use a couple of the other pieces to just wrap it up. Now I'm not gonna take the flower because they have bananas growing on them and I don't want to steal someone's fruit. The leaf, I don't feel that bad taking. So we're back over by the Ingham here. It's a little windy, I don't know if that's gonna affect things. But the Coast Guard ship, the Ingham, and right here, I'm hoping that there is some Spanish mackerel in there, or some other kind of pelagic. My buddy Aaron was out today. He said that the mackerel bite was insane, but he was a bit offshore. So hopefully they're inshore. I just saw something jump in there, so maybe we'll get lucky. And what I'm using is just a very light tackle spinning rod with an artificial. We're gonna toss that out probably about 1,000 times and hopefully we come up with a fish. If not, I got some bait, and then we're gonna head up the Keys to Sugarloaf and see if we can catch something up there on bait. And if that fails, then we're gonna go over to Aaron's boat and bust his chops until he gives me a fish. So one way or another today, I am getting a fish. So it looks like we're getting skunked at this spot. I had one bite and then realized it was a houndfish. I'm not doing that again. There's a bonnethead shark floating around out there hunting, but I don't want anything to do with him either. But as I was fishing, I did get the text from Aaron that he does in fact have an extra Cero mackerel, which is perfect. It's a very delicate fish, white meat, very, very light, almost like wahoo, which steaming it is gonna be the perfect way to cook it. All right, so I hooked up. It is the last thing that we wanted, unfortunately. It's what's called leatherback. And now I eat anything, I won't eat these. And those bottom two spikes there are very poisonous. Completely struck out at the first spot, but let's not give up. So now we're at the second spot. We're actually at a bridge up in Sugarloaf, little ways up the Keys, and still using a light tackle spinning rod, but this one's gonna have a knocker rig on it. Knocker rig is just a weight and a hook, and I got some shrimp as bait, so we're gonna use that. Throw that down here a couple of times and hopefully we catch something, but like I said, if not, it's not that big of a deal because I got a Cero mackerel waiting for me. I just personally like eating Cero mackerel raw, so I don't even want to steam it. So if I can avoid that, that'd be great. But worst case scenario, we got fish waiting for us. So this is just not my day. We managed to catch a nurse shark on the tiniest piece of shrimp you've ever seen. So what I'm hoping is that he'll keep fighting it, and luckily I have light tackle, and that he will break my line. Because I'm at the top of the bridge and there's no way I'm getting him up. But let me see if I can get him up just to show you guys what a nurse shark looks like. All right, there he is. So you would think a guy that big would want nothing to do with a piece of shrimp that was literally about an inch big, but no, of course, he went after the shrimp. And what's even more upsetting is that around him was a couple of Jack Crevalle. But they didn't go for the shrimp. He went for the shrimp. So now we'll just keep tugging on him until my line breaks. And then I think we're calling it. It's a sign. All right, so I'm gonna teach you a very important rule to fishing. If you yourself are not great at fishing, not bad, but not great, be friends with someone that is. And that's what I've done. And that is why today, on a day where I would have had to keep working really hard or been skunked, I've got myself a beautiful Cero mackerel that was caught just a couple hours ago, and now I get to cook fish. So once we get these all cleaned and all the little spikes out, we're gonna dice it up and we're gonna boil it in salted water. That's it. For about probably about 5 minutes or so. The other thing we're gonna do is make sure we get rid of all of these tiny little splinters, because that will not be fun in your mouth. That'll be what's known as a bad time. Alright, so next we got our banana leaves, our Cero mackerel, our prop plate, our allspice leaves. Addicted to them. So like I said, you want to take the rib out of the banana leaf, just like this. And cut these. A little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. They don't have to be tied up or anything like that. You just fold them up, flip them over, and the weight will hold that shut. So now I'm going to make a couple more of these, and those are ready for the steamer. Alright, now I'm going to cut these long ways, just to make little wraps to put around here, hold them shut. And now when I cook them and put them in the steamer, I'm going to put them open side up instead of like this. And the reason why is because any of the liquid from the fish and everything that it releases will sit in this little pouch. So it's almost like parchment paper when you do the parchment paper pouch, to where it steams and everything in there really just almost braises the fish as it steams. Right here, but we're just gonna make a very, very quick salsa with the cactus. So we have our cactus that is now boiled, cooled down, and dried. So we are going to dice that up. Now, red onion. Dice that up real quick. Okay, now our tomato. Cilantro. Almost forgot our jalapeno. Now if you want it less spicy as usual, take out the pith, take out the seeds. But I do like it spicy, so we're gonna leave it. One lime. A little bit of black pepper. A little bit of salt. Sea salt, of course. Sea salt. Then we give that a mix. And we have our cactus salsa. So let's go steam the fish, and then we'll put this on top. Alright, so we have our salsa made. I don't know if you could see it out there because we were losing sunlight, but really it's just a pico de gallo with cactus. Something a little more thoughtful than the boring mango salsa or pineapple salsa. And the best part about it is that we stole it from our neighbor's yard. So these are our little pouches that we made earlier. And I brought my water up to a boil, and then now I have it down to a simmer. So I'm going to put those in there, throw the lid on, and we're going to let those go probably about 6 minutes, because that Cero mackerel has no fat on it at all, and they aren't thick cuts of fish. They're pretty small. So it's 6 minutes, it should cook completely through. Then we'll take them out, top them with our salsa, and have dinner. So you smell that allspice.
Oh yeah.
It's really, really almost like If they had a candle for Thanksgiving, that would be it. Alright. Bust these open. That is beautiful. It smells so good. Like I said, it's like cloves, cinnamon, nutmeg all in one. Again, allspice. Every spice. And I'm hoping that it's just a little bit in the fish, which I'm gonna steal a piece right now, just to see without anything else in it. That is so good. It's so subtle. It really is. It's like, if you didn't tell someone what it was, they wouldn't know, but it adds this earthy layer to the fish, just a tiny, tiny little hint where you don't even need lemon, lime, or anything. So really, the salsa is just gonna be a bit extra on the plate because it doesn't need a single thing. And the texture of the fish is absolutely velvety smooth. I love cooking fish like this. Any fish that you have that is delicate with not a lot of fat on it, something that you wouldn't grill unless you left the skin on, this is a perfect way to do it because it is so forgiving. And you can really put any spice, anything inside those little pouches. Lemon, salt, pepper, spices, anything. And the fish is gonna pick it up. Check those out. And now I'm gonna eat a little bit of the cactus salsa, which still, like I said, you're not gonna get rid of all of the slime, but most of it. It's really nice, bright. And like I said, the cactus itself has a little subtle hint of green beans, and it's actually crunchier than you would think. So this has a lot of nice texture compared to our really, really soft, velvety fish. That is perfect together. So one of the best parts about this meal is that I woke up this morning and I thought I wanted to make something with cactus. And this is the joy of Key West, is that I went out, I got the majority of the ingredients for the dish in the neighborhood, growing on people's lawns. The cactus was literally on someone's front lawn, the banana leaf was hanging over someone's fence, and the allspice leaves were in my friend Mike's house in his yard. And then I got skunked fishing. My friend Aaron had a fish, went and got the fish, so really the only thing I had to go get was the stuff for the salsa. But what a perfect dish from Foraging, for lack of a better word, in Key West.